Welcome to your Daily Focus, April 29th, 2022. My name's Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly. And thank you. Thank you truly for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. I send it right back to you, but we have a lot to talk about. It's great energy out there for us. So let's start with the numerology. We have the 29 energy. The 29 energy is about, that's a learning period when we have a 29 energy. It is critical, though, that we do not overlook or we do not ignore any possibilities that is presented to us under a 29 energy. So anything that comes your way, do not just say no to it. Allow it to linger in your presence, okay? You don't want to overlook something. You don't want to ignore something. It could be the greatest opportunity of your life, and you said no because you didn't understand it completely. You find out 3 months later that that's what they meant. I would have loved to have done that. I didn't know that's what they meant. I would have said yes immediately. So those kinds of things happen when we just jump in. We don't use any kind of critical, logical thinking. Luckily for us, now we have well, 29 is an 11 energy, right? 2 plus 9 is an 11. That's a master number. I talked about that. You might want to actually revisit yesterday's video for just the numerology, because I did cover a lot of this numerology, I think, yesterday. We have the 11 energy, the master number, the teacher, the illuminator. It is about cutting away what no longer has value in our life, no longer has value, or it even pulls us down. It burdens us. It doesn't allow us to take the steps forward that we want. Keep our focus on our dreams, our goals. It's about making a commitment to ourselves. It's about walking with a sense of integrity. It is about putting our focus on our dreams, our goals, our desires, whatever it may be. Numerology of the day is a 21 energy. Now, I didn't talk about the 21 energy yesterday, but I believe the World card came out, and that's a 21 energy, so technically I did. So 21 is all about a new energy coming in, a new, not even chapter, but a new book, this is the ending of a cycle in your life. And how fitting is it that we have the numerology of the 21 today when tomorrow is our solar eclipse? When our focuses will drastically just switch into new directions. I knew I was trying to say a word, just didn't know what word I was trying to say. So the 21 energy is about taking care of the last minute details, tying things up, completing things, the things that we don't want to take forward with us, so that we can step into that solar eclipse with a bounce in our step and not be dragging a lot of stuff with us. So completions, endings, very important today. 2 plus 1 is a 3, and that's our Empress. It's about planting the seed. It's about giving birth. It is about, our intuition is extremely high. Our diplomacy is very strong. Our wisdom is amazing. So it's tapping into our internal resources to take those steps forward. Sun is in Taurus, Moon is in Aries, I think until a little after supper time. Then it will move into Taurus and get ready for our solar eclipse, get in position for that. But the big news of today is Pluto goes retrograde, stationary retrograde. So out of any retrograde, this is the one that I like because we have it. We have a Pluto retrograde, I think, once a year, and it's like 4 or 5 months long. So this one actually begins the retrograde the day before the solar eclipse, and I think it ends, I'm not sure if it is the solar or the lunar eclipse, but in October, but one day after. So I found that to be completely amazing, that through this whole eclipse season and the energy that will follow through with, we will also have the Pluto retrograde in its whole entirety during this time. Now, Pluto retrogrades. Primarily, that's our warrior. It's about death and rebirth, and it's our primal warrior. And I think it's only a couple of degrees from leaving Capricorn. So it's probably at 27, 28 degrees. I think 28 degrees. So I think I talked about the 28 yesterday as well. So you might want to really revisit that numerology part at the beginning of yesterday, just so you get more of it. Because I'm trying. I want to fit it all in under 20 minutes, and I'm never successful. But I babble, and I know that. So it is what it is. I don't want to take up your time unnecessarily. So we have the Pluto retrograde. Now, the most amazing thing about this Pluto retrograde is it's talking to Jupiter and they're getting along. So I think they're sextiling and it's strong. It's a very strong aspect and transit, and it has a long-term effect as well. So it's the elimination of bad habits and obsessions. It's about spiritual growth. It's about something happens where you can grow your finances, or love. Love grows. This is the time when we meet our soulmates, when we fall in love, when passion, desire is illuminated for us, and those primal energies. So now I think the moon is square Pluto, which will intensify all of our emotions. So we want to have very positive emotions, and we want to stamp out those negative emotions, because those negative emotions will only pull us down into that rabbit hole. We want to keep it very positive, very motivated, very wanting to go forward. And the Pluto retrograde shows us where we've given away our power, where we started to work on somebody else's agenda rather than our own, where we agreed to things that kind of went against our values or our belief system, and understanding how we can take that part of us back to take ownership of our own empowerment and go forward with a strength, with a courage, with a belief in ourselves. And I think Venus is talking to Pluto during this. Mercury is talking to Pluto, and they're all getting along. Those are our smaller personal planets. So talk about love, talk about finances, talk about our voice being strong. We can articulate better. We can say what we mean and mean what we say. I think Mercury also goes into Gemini today. That's another thing that's happening. So kind of forgot about that there till the tail end. I get carried away when it's Pluto retrograde, because it teaches us so much about ourselves, and getting to know ourselves is the most important part of the journey, because the more we know ourselves, the more we can help others. We know our abilities, we know our strengths, we know where we can help, and we know where to get help if we are unable to help. Okay, the cards are starting to get a mind of their own, so we best get over to the cards here and see what they have to say. Our shadow card of the day is, look at this, the King of Wands. The King of Wands is, yes, research, understand what you want to step into, and then start making the plans to step into it. Get excited. Don't stand on ceremony. Don't stand on ceremony. If you keep saying, I'm going to wait until the time is right, it's not the right time, because under this energy, we have to take that right out of our vocabulary. There will never be a right time. So you have to get your ducks in a row, and then you have to take the steps and have fun doing it. Find a way to embrace it, to make it your passion, to fuel your fire, to put wind in your sails. The Lovers. Oh, so relationships. Relationships can, they can deepen, they can strengthen. We can grow those relationships into relationships where neither of us even have to talk because we already know what the other person is kind of saying to us. Their wants. They don't have to say it out loud. We know. Now, this could be a love relationship. Absolutely. This could be a friend. This could be a neighbor. This could be a coworker. And growing that relationship deeper and stronger and more meaningful. This could also be embracing your passion, your dreams, your desires. You've got that perfect job offer, but I don't know. No, it's a time to embrace who you are and your abilities and your strengths and your talents and go forward with them. Embracing passions and yes, taking a risk on yourself. There's always a risk even when we put our heart out for love, we're taking a risk. We know that. If you're going to take a risk on you. This is embracing abundance and happiness and joy and celebration. The Two of Pentacles. So your abundance, we have a coin in both of our hands. Each of our hands, we hold a coin. On each side of us, there's a ship coming in. Now, we can't see much more than the ships. So whatever is out there for us to step into, whatever path we take, it's unknown. When we come to that conclusion, so not making a decision is making a decision, by the way. We'll get that out of the way. But you're sitting there and you're going, should I or shouldn't I? Well, even if you are pretty confident in your world, things can change on a dime. You know, before that nasty little virus hit, me and my son were getting ready to go to a hockey game, which I think it was one of the first couple that were canceled. Like just, and you just thought for sure, right? It just, it turned our worlds upside down. All of a sudden, we couldn't go to places. We couldn't get our hair done. We couldn't get it cut. We couldn't go buy clothes at one point. All of these things that we thought were... So even if you're making a decision to keep it the same, know that it doesn't stay the same. So each way is completely unknown. And when we come to that realization, we know that any decision would be a good decision. There's a ship both ways, but we have to take power over that decision. We have to consciously make it. We can't just let life happen to us. We have to make life happen. And we have to make some strong decisions. And the strong decisions will be based on a lot of unknown particulars. And once you come to that conclusion, stepping out of the norm, stepping out of your regular routine or that job that you've been working at for 10, 12, 20, 30, 50 years, whatever it may be. Or maybe you always had a spiritual practice and you were with this group and maybe it's time to branch out and see what other groups do. But it's really about you empowering the decision and taking ownership of that decision and not just letting life happen to you right now, but to take control and make that decision to stay, to go forward. But even staying doesn't guarantee that anything will remain the same. It's still the complete unknown. Both ships are covered in fog. And don't worry about it. Go with the flow. Knight of Cups. Look at this. It's truly a day with love and happiness and compassion included in here. We started with the Lovers. We end with Our knight here, our knight of cups, our knight in shining armor, I like to call him. So when he shows up, yes, new relationships can be formed, absolutely. Deepening relationships by spending time with each other, by relaxing, by letting laughter in, by enjoying each other's company. This is jumping on the back of that horse with the picnic basket and sitting under the apple tree by the stream in the field with the daisies growing and just enjoying the moment. So take time today from your busy schedule to just sit back and relax for a few minutes and enjoy the moment. Hopefully it is with somebody else, even if it's a friend. Say, hey, listen, I thought for lunch I'd pack a little picnic. We'll go over to the park today and eat for lunch. What do you say? We're stepping into some beautiful energy to look within ourselves and see our talents and abilities. Now, I would never pack a lunch. I'd probably go and buy it because I'd want it to be edible. But you do you. Or maybe you know that somebody on your street is, or in your apartment building or whatnot, is kind of a shut-in. They don't have many friends. Or maybe you can go into your seniors' homes and you just have a little luncheon packed or something. Or maybe you just want to read them a book. I just want to read a book to you. I just want to talk to you. I want to hang out with you. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me about your life. I bet you it'll be extraordinary stories. Because today's got the kind of energy, too, where you want to get out and talk to people. Because those, especially strong and powerful people. So if you work for a corporation, try and get the president's attention today and talk to them. This is a time when they see something in you that they want to develop. So it could be very much a situation in your life today where those kinds of doors can swing open for you. And it could be something that you have longed to do forever and a day, and it's in every affirmation, every prayer, and every meditation. Or it could be something that you never even saw yourself doing. And like, you're like, me? Seriously? You want me? Don't close that door. Don't overlook it. Don't dismiss it. Don't ignore it. Because they could, if you meet somebody under those kinds of circumstances, under today's energy, there's almost a surety of success that follows. Battle of the Blue. Take steps towards positive change. Take steps towards positive change. If something is broken, then let's fix it. And if something isn't broken, let's ignore it and pay attention to the things that will bring in a balance, a harmony in our life, to bring in laughter in our life, joy in our life, success in our life, abundance in our life, love in our life. So when we have sad feelings of gloom, inadequacy, we need to recognize that this is only a temporary situation. Feelings of sadness, negative thoughts can immobilize you. And you are the only person who has the power to truly change this. Perhaps it's a wake-up call to get into action and make some changes. Take small steps and keep moving every day to bring positive change and self-empowerment. Exercise, study, socialize with like-minded people. Listen to music. Talk about your feelings with a trusted friend. Know that the magic of the universe and the angels are there to support and guide you. Gather your courage and rise to meet your challenges. The mantra is, I can take small steps every day to make a positive change in my life for happiness and fulfillment. Kind of sums it up, doesn't it? So it's the small steps. And what do we do today to bring in happiness, joy? Do we create something in our lives? Is it something that we go to for 15 or 20 minutes a day? Whether it's gardening or painting or dancing or singing or baking or whatever brings happiness to you, do you take time out for yourself to do those things? To bring in joy, to bring in happiness. Your mantra could be as simple as today I allow in joy and happiness. Oh, a couple of the cards didn't want to come. I saw them hiding. They're the animal cards. They were hiding on me. Okay. Freedom. Freedom with the horse. Okay. Freedom, transformation, free spirit, move and courage. The secret of happiness is freedom. The secret of freedom is courage. It's taking that step. It's taking that step towards your passions, your dreams, your desires. And experiencing a freedom, a liberation. Doing what you were meant to do rather than a 9-to-5 job, perhaps. Being with who you are meant to be with instead of that relationship that there's no hope for. You've tried everything. Or maybe it's just that relationship, that friend that weighs you down, that pulls you down. And it takes courage, and sometimes it's hard to step away. Horse has a powerful message to share with you in regards to your time of transformation and newfound freedoms. Sometimes it's easier just to sit in your fuzzy PJs and hope that life will change. And yet you continue to allow yourself to be shackled away from your true spirit and your true soul. Horse tells you it's time to dream big. It may be time to make the changes within your current relationships, whether romantic or platonic. It could be that you are stifled by your current career choice. Freedom doesn't mean that you have to... I should just read the book and forget the ad lib, right? Because freedom doesn't mean that you have to give up your entire life. Instead, allow yourself to disconnect from the anchors tied around you, and it will take courage. The end result will be a positive one. Spend some time in nature, taking in the feeling of the wind in your hair. Breathe in nature's goodness and just be. Just a few moments of solitude each day can allow your soul to reboot and clear itself from life's toxicities, freeing it in order to see the proper path. Horse could also mean it's time for you to move house locations into the country. But just take a few moments each and every day of solitude even. Allow joy, allow happiness. Create positive thoughts. Do not close any doors today. Keep them all open and see what comes to you. With this Pluto retrograde, it can change your whole way of going forward in ways that you couldn't even imagine before. And remember, it's tied in with our solar eclipse coming tomorrow. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.